Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I am Bert the Stormtrooper and this is the home of That's Just Prime, the comprehensive Optimus Prime review series. I also review other Transformers, lots of G1 stuff, as well as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Ghostbusters, GoBots, and pretty much any other toy that may jump out of me. I also do the occasional arcade and pinball machine videos, unboxings, blogs, challenges, and miscellaneous videos where my daughter usually makes fun of me. Those are a lot of fun. If you're new to the channel, thanks for checking me out. Please be sure to click that subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you're notified when I upload a new video. I usually upload 2 videos a week, sometimes more. And don't forget to give me a thumbs up and share if you like what you see. Hello and welcome, I'm Bert the Stormtrooper, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Studio Series 35 Jetfire, and I love this toy. Released in early of 2019, this guy is brand new and starting to hit stores right now. As of the time of this recording, I found this guy a couple of weeks ago at my local Target. Retail price approximately $45. And I absolutely love this guy. Now, I haven't been getting a lot of non-Optimus Prime Transformers lately, unless they're like G1 or Masterpiece figures. I've typically stayed away from everything else that's not Optimus Prime, but this figure I had to get for multiple reasons. One, as we already know, this guy is going to combine with the retool / reissue of the Studio Series Optimus Prime figure that will be coming out later this year. So I absolutely had to get this as an accessory, or a future accessory rather, for that Prime. But also, I really like this figure on its own. I have always been a huge fan of the SR-71 Blackbird. I remember building lots of models of this guy as a kid, and it's just absolutely one of my favorite toys ever. I actually have pictures with one of the remaining or surviving jets that is currently, or at least as last I heard, was housed in Huntsville, Alabama at the space camp facility there. So I actually have pictures with that. Absolutely adore this jet. So yeah, I had to get this guy because I really do like him. So he does come with a couple of accessories. The 2 of them are already on the jet. We'll get those out in just a moment. He also comes with this piece right here, which is going to be like a chest piece for that other Optimus Prime figure once it does come out. I'm guessing, because I don't have that figure yet, but I'm guessing that we'll have to replace the chest piece so that we can do the combination form. So there's that. And then he's got the other accessories. Like I said, they're in the jet. We'll look at those in a moment. Here in jet mode, I almost called him Skyfire, Jetfire. It's approximately 14 inches long. He's about 2 inches tall at the top of the fuselage, 3 if you want to go to the tip of the wings, and he's got a wingspan of about 7.5 inches, so he's a pretty good size. However, he's not quite as big as his previous counterpart, and I will try to get these guys in here. Yeah, not a very good job of it, but there you go. There is the previous Revenge of the Fallen Jetfire figure, which was also a Leader Class, and you can see how much bigger that figure is from this new one, but that doesn't really take away from this new. I know there's been a lot of complaining about the new one being so small, and I don't know that I think it's terribly small for a Leader size. I think it's a good size, and it's actually manageable. So it's a fun figure. I actually like it. So there's the SR-71 Blackbird mode. He looks pretty good. He does have some landing gear, and they're all molded. So the front landing gear and the back landing gear here, they're all molded. So he doesn't actually roll all that well, or at all, really. Now, of course, and this is going to be inevitable with just A, movie universe Transformers, and B, Jetformers in general. It's going to be very difficult to try to get a sleek jet mode without having a bunch of robot parts underneath, but I think overall he does a relatively good job of hiding most of it. You can see the hands, but if you didn't know those were hands, you probably wouldn't know what that is. I think the most obtrusive piece of robot that's showing is kind of his head right here, his head and his head whiskers. I mean, his face does a pretty good job of hiding the face, but the whiskers are just kind of sticking out there, and they look very out of place. If it didn't have the whiskers, then you could probably just, you know, write this off as who knows what. But anyway, there it is. And of course, his accessories. He does come with this axe, which is pegged in right here. It just pegs in 2 tabs there, 2 slots there, and there's an axe. I don't know why it comes with an axe, because I don't recall. I mean, it's been a while since I watched Revenge of the Fallen, but I don't recall Jetfire having an axe in that movie. Unless this is meant specifically to be an accessory for Prime when they combine, which again, he didn't have that either that I can recall. So, but anyway, there's an X. And then the front landing gear here, you can remove that. It just pegs out. And then you can extend this, and this will become his cane later in robot mode, and that he did have in the movie. So there's that. All right, getting into transformation. So the transformation is somewhat fiddly, but once you learn it, it's relatively simple and it seems complicated, but once you know it, you realize it really isn't. So we'll start with the landing gear and just put that away. I'm going to start right here with these pieces on these elastic bands, and we're just going to pop these off. These will be the first pieces we transform, and they'll be the last pieces that we transform. And then we're going to come up here. We're going to take the side turbines here and just pull them aside. They are pegged in. There's a slot right there. So there's a tab right underneath here that they're tabbed into. So I'm just going to pull those out to the side on each side. There you go. Come around the bottom here. Take the hands. The hands are also, they probably came untabbed when you did the side fuse turbines here. But they do have a slot, and there's a peg right there that they're pegged into. Usually, more than likely, they're just going to pop right off. And let's see, you can do the legs or you can do the top first. It really kind of depends. I guess I'll start with the top, because more than likely if I start doing the legs, the top's just going to come undone. So let's just go ahead and do the top. I'm going to separate these panels here in the center, just like that. So I just kind of split the jet in half. And then these panels are going to separate away from each other. These are on hinges, and there's like 3 hinges here. So these guys are going to rotate this way, rotate that way. They can rotate this way. They can also angle. So they're going to do a bunch of different stuff later that you can do for the robot mode. This is one of those pieces that were over his collarbones that just kind of moved around as the robot needed them to move around in the movie. So you can also angle them any way you like. Come back here, and I'm going to separate this guy here. So separate these pieces. And then this whole thing is going to accordion down. These 2 tabs are going to go into those 2 slots down there. And then these will come out. These are going to be his kind of his wings. And again, these are on those joints, so you can angle these any way you'd like. Let's see. I'm going to come around the bottom here. I'm going to take the arms, the very obvious arms now, and I'm going to separate these. And I'm just going to kind of leave them there for the moment. I'm going to take this whole front of the plane here. I'm going to separate that and just kind of work it around these panels like that, and just bring it all the way up. And this was tabbed in here and here. The very, move the camera up, the very tip of it is going to fold down, just like that. And then this whole thing is going to fold down again. And now this is going to do something really cool. So let me do this. I'm just going to fold that there. I'm not going to, as you can see, that's going to tab together, but I'm not going to do that quite yet. This is going to do something really cool. So this whole body piece here is going to accordion in. There's joints here, here, and here. And this is all going to accordion in. And then this piece is going to come in back here and tab there and there back here, way down here. So it's really cool the way this does, this whole thing. So, oh, and then there's another joint right here for the head to rotate down like that to accommodate this spine piece on his back right there. So that's going to accordion in. Then this guy's going to come down. The whole thing's going to come up. And you're going to peg everything together. Again, those 2 tabs into these 2 slots. Down here, it's kind of difficult to show. And again, this is one of those, like I said at the beginning of the video, it seems fiddly, it seems complicated, but once you know it, it's actually quite simple, and you'll understand the whole process of it. So then straighten this whole thing out and peg the chest into place. So everything is just going to kind of compress together, just like so. And again, these pieces can just angle any way you want. Bring the head down, bring his whiskers out. The shoulders are going to rotate up, and there is a tab on the shoulder that's going to go into that slot right in there. So these are just, they're double jointed, so just bring that all the way up. And work that slot. I can't see it. It's too dark. There it is. And then you can just bring the arm out, or the hand out. Okay, get the whiskers out of the way. Get that tab into the shoulder, just like that. Get the arms out. And we're a little more than halfway there. You can already see more than half of his upper body. Let's work on the legs down here. I haven't tabbed his, I guess I can go ahead and tab the hip or the crotch, or yeah, I guess the crotch piece together, just like that. Okay, I'm going to start right here with these panels. I'm going to separate these panels And these are double jointed. They are going to accordion out. When you bring them out, you can then fold this wing up. And then just bring those up as far as they'll go. Untab the foot from right there. The foot is tabbed in on that slot right in there. And that's going to allow you to bring this down. Rotate the thigh all the way around 180 degrees. Bring this all the way down. The foot is going to come out. Straighten that out. Bring it out. Turn this piece so that this tip points forward. And then bring out his little toe piece right here. And then just kind of compress this whole thing down so you have that kind of chicken leg effect right there. Same thing on this side. So we're going to take the panel here, bring it up, fold the wing, and bring that up as far as it'll go. Unpeg the foot, bring this out, rotate the thigh 180. Bring this down, bring the whole foot down and straighten it. And then turn that turbine piece so that the toe is pointing forward. Bring this other toe out. That's pretty much all of it done. And then finally, the last two things we're going to do is we're going to bring these elastic pieces all the way around. And they are going to tab in. Where's the slot that they tab into? Oh, there it is. There's a little slot right there. And that's going to go into this tab right there on his chest. Like I said, these were the first things we transformed. And they'll be the last pieces we transform. That'll go there. That'll go there. Let me back the camera up a little bit. And now it's just a matter of straightening things out, getting the wings the way you like them. These pieces can be a little fiddly and will pop off. And just kind of get them nice and post the way you want them post. And there's Jetfire in robot mode, which is actually really good. He looks definitely a lot better than his previous incarnation. So one thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to rotate that out. And you can see that on the inside of his hands, he's got these posts or these peg holes. So then you can bring his cane and that'll just peg in right there. And then you can just kind of give him whatever pose you want to give him. I like to do this kind of holding his hip and, while leaning on his cane kind of pose. I think that looks pretty good. And then again, these wings back here, you can just kind of angle them whichever way looks best to you. And again, there's Jetfire in robot mode, and I think he looks really good. He is certainly a major improvement over the previous figure. We'll set him over to the side just a little bit, and we'll try to get these two guys here together in the same shot. And so now I am probably in the minority. I believe I'm in the minority in that I am a fan. I was a fan, and I am a fan of the previous figure. I always liked this figure, especially for what it does. What it tries to do, and of course the combination. I think I have a mistransformed. There you go. And of course the combination sequence of this guy with the Leader Class Prime. If you have a Leader Class Prime from the movie series, this is definitely a must-have because you want to have them combined. So I'm definitely a fan of this figure, but I mean, looking at them side by side, it's painfully obvious how way off the mark this figure is. It's just, yeah, it's just very off the mark. And this really is a fiddly and complicated transformation, as, you know, the Revenge of the Fallen figures were known to be. So, yeah, when you get compared to this new one, you can see how much more screen accurate this new one is. And the transformation is separate. So this is one of those cases where simpler definitely is better. I'm still a fan of this figure. I still like it, but it's obviously not. Not very screen accurate. This is intended to be combined with Prime, and that's about it. Whereas this figure, even if you don't get Prime, if you don't do the combination and all of that, this is a great figure on its own merits. It's just an absolutely fantastic figure. Again, you've got the axe there, and he doesn't. Unfortunately, the hands are not very articulated, or they're not articulated at all. So he can't really hold the axe. He does have these holes right here between his thumb and index on both hands, so you can just kind of peg that in there, and there you go. That kind of makes it appear like he's holding that axe in a way. And of course you could as well plug it into the bottom and have him use an axe as let's see if this works. I haven't tried this. This is the first time I'm trying this, so there you go. He could use the axe as another support. He's not quite going to reach, but anyway, I'm going to set aside the axe. I'm not a big fan of the axe. So here in robot mode, Jetfire is approximately 7 inches tall at the top of the head. Obviously, his hump and all of these accessories kind of go back a little further up. So 9 inches if you want to go to the very top there as far as articulation goes. His head can move side to side to a degree. That's about it. And he can go up and down a little bit. The shoulders can go in and out. He can move his arms forward and backwards. He does have a rotation right there at the elbow as well as a bend. And then he's got 2 hinges at the wrist. So he's got a hinge there. And then he's also got this other hinge here, as well as a rotation at the wrist itself. So this does very well to accommodate things like, for example, holding his cane, or like I was doing earlier when I was kind of making him look like he was holding his hip kind of thing. So that works well for that kind of thing. No waist articulation. The hips can go forward and backwards. They can go in and out. He does have the bend at the knee here and another bend here. And then, of course, he's got the foot can go up and down and a little bit of side to side. So he's got quite a bit of articulation. However, posability, not that great. Not a whole lot of poses you can pull off with this guy, really, other than that. Just kind of making him look, you know, old, crotchety. I'm tired. You know, even though I'm a robot, I'm old and I am tired. That kind of thing. So, yeah, but still very cool figure. And I'm just kind of messing him all up now. I'm going to try to get him back into that pose. This really is kind of the pose that I like. Like I said, I picked this guy up a couple weeks ago. And I always keep coming back around to this pose right here. Just kind of give him that old man pose, at least until I get that Prime. I'm really looking forward to that new Prime so that I can get them combined and see what those guys are going to look like. And of course, I'll be sure to review that Prime on its own and then, of course, do a combination video for the both of them. So, yeah, really cool figure, though. And again, even if you're not planning on getting the Prime or doing the combination, this really is a good Jetfire figure, just standalone. This is a very nice standalone Jetfire figure, and it'll look really nice on your shelf as Jetfire. Certainly a lot better than the previous one there. Still like him. I still love you, buddy, but you will forever be combined with Prime from now on. And yeah, this is a great Jetfire figure. So I think that about does it for the Transformers Studio Series 35 Jetfire. What did you think of this figure? Let me know by leaving me a comment down below. Give me some thumbs up. Subscribe and hit that bell icon so you're notified of when I make a new video. Please share with your friends if you like what you see. And I'll talk to you next time.